Hey, what's going on, my fellow idiots? Welcome back to another episode of Idiot Proof Cooking. So today I'm going to be tackling some Cincinnati chili. I'm a little bit thrown by making it because there's a bunch of spices in there that you wouldn't normally expect in a chili, and it's served on top of spaghetti, and that it just seems really foreign to me. Now, I've never had Cincinnati chili before. I've never actually even been to Cincinnati, but I do like making these regional dishes. I find them fun to make because, not everybody can travel to all of these places and try them. Like, take me, for example. I'm in Ontario, Canada. It's not so easy for me to just make a trip to Cincinnati to try Cincinnati chili. So that's why I like to try these regional dishes, try making them at home, and hopefully you enjoy making them as well. So let's just get into making this. And you know what? If you're from Cincinnati, drop me a comment. Let me know if I did it justice. And let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting off in the kitchen. So what we're going to do is get ourselves a large cast iron pan, throw it on a burner on a medium heat, throw in a little bit of olive oil, and then we're just going to let our cast iron pan heat up for 3 to 5 minutes because it takes a couple of minutes to heat up. Once the pan is sufficiently heated, we're going to throw in a large white onion diced up fairly finely, and then we're just going to fry the onions for like 3 to 5 minutes just until they soften up and start to get translucent and nice and fragrant. Give them a stir every once in a while. Once the onions have fried up for a couple of minutes, we're going to add in some garlic. Now I'm going to add in 3 cloves of freshly crushed garlic. Don't forget to scrape down your garlic mincer like always, and then you're going to stir the garlic around with the onions for about a minute for it to cook. It really doesn't take garlic that long to cook. Once the garlic has cooked, we're going to add in some tomato paste, specifically a whole 6-ounce can of tomato paste. And now what I will do is stir the tomato paste in with the garlic and onions and then just let it fry for like 2 to 3 minutes just to let the tomato paste cook for a couple of minutes. After you've done that, add in a 14-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I had mine in a bowl because I just used half of a 28-ounce can, so use 14 ounces of crushed tomatoes. Stir that in with the tomato paste, the garlic and onions, and then add in 2 cups of beef stock and stir that in as well. Now I'm using store-bought beef stock. I would recommend using homemade beef stock if you have some. I just don't have any, and I really should do an episode on making homemade beef stock. But anyways, once the beef stock is in, add in about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce and then 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And then it's time to start spicing this up, starting off with a tablespoon of ground cumin. Next in is a tablespoon of dried oregano. Pour that in, and then we're going to add in some chipotle chili powder, specifically 3 tablespoons of it. You want some heat from this, so 3 tablespoons of chipotle chili powder. And then this is where it starts to get off the rails a little bit. Add in 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground allspice. Yep, allspice and cinnamon, and then a half teaspoon of ground cloves. Honestly, never thought I would put these in chili. Then we're going to add in a heaping tablespoon of brown sugar for a little sweetness, and we're going to mix that all together until it's thoroughly combined. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I never thought I would put cinnamon, allspice, and cloves and sugar in a chili, but here we are. And you know what, that's not even the weirdest ingredient yet. Before we add in the weirdest ingredient, let's throw in a little bit of kosher salt for a little bit of flavor, and a few twists of freshly ground black pepper, and the final ingredient, 1 ounce of dark unsweetened chocolate. Yes, chocolate in a chili. I never thought I would say that, but people that make Cincinnati chili swear by it, so in it goes, and you just stir it around until it's thoroughly combined with everything else. Now at this point in time, you have a fairly set up Cincinnati chili sauce, so now it's time to add in the meat, specifically 2 pounds of ground beef. So what you do now is you carefully place the ground beef into your chili sauce, and then you break it up with your spatula. Don't drop it in, you'll splash it. As you can see, I almost did there. Yeah, so just drop it in carefully and then just start breaking up the ground beef with your spatula. Mix it around. You want to make sure it's really fine pieces of ground beef. And then, yeah, what we're going to do now is let this cook for the next 1.5 to 2 hours. It gives the ground beef plenty of time to cook, and it thickens up the chili too because it allows some of the excess moisture to evaporate. Now, what I would suggest is, every half an hour or so, just give it a stir around until an 1.5 to 2 hours has passed. After 2 hours, as you can see, see the chili is nice and thick and fully cooked. Look at how beautiful that is. Ho, ho, ho. And you know what? The smells coming off it are quite unique. So you know what? I'm going to go in and try a little bit of this. So let's just have a little spoonful right now, see what it's like. I'm going to blow on it a little bit because it's piping hot. And let me tell you, that has got to be one of the most complex chilies. You know what? Hold on. One more bite here. Yeah, that's got to be one of the most complex chilies I have ever tasted. That is peculiar. Now, the last thing to do is just cook yourself some spaghetti noodles as per the manufacturer's instructions, like 10 minutes or so in some boiling water. But yeah, here we go. Let's start assembling. So look at that chili. Look at how gorgeous that is. Ho, ho, ho. You know what? I want to give you a close-up shot of it here. So you know what? I'm going to get a fork full of it here, and I just want to show you what it looks like. Look at how gorgeous this looks. Nice and close. Look at that. Look at that little onion there. Look at how gooey and amazing. Let me tell you, it smells amazing. And after my first taste test of it, it is quite good. It's different, but it's quite good. So you know what? Let's start assembling this. We're going to set this aside for a moment and bring in our plate of spaghetti. I'm still thrown that you would serve chili on spaghetti. It's Cincinnati chili, but hey, it's foreign to me, let me tell you. So what we're going to do is fully load this up. You want a lot of chili on your spaghetti, so we're going to make this fully loaded. And what we have here is what Cincinnatians would call two-way Cincinnati chili, where it's just the chili on top of the spaghetti noodles. Two-way chili. Now you can eat it just like that and it would be good, but you know what? Let's improve this just a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is add some shredded cheese on top. So I'm just using some shredded cheddar here, and I'm going to put a fairly liberal amount on the top, and this makes it, oh, hold on a minute here. Rose has got to get in. She wants a little bit of the cheese. The cheese hound. Look at that. Man, she's a funny kid. Anyways, so now we have three-way Cincinnati chili. So that's the cheese, that's the chili, and the spaghetti noodles. But wait, we gotta add one more thing. Some more white onion. So I just have some finely diced up white onion here. I'm going to sprinkle some on top. And now we have four-way Cincinnati chili. You can make five-way if you want to throw beans on top, but I didn't have beans and I didn't want beans on my chili. So there we go. We got some four-way Cincinnati chili. Look at how gorgeous that looks. So you know what? Let's just go in and try this. I did try a little bite of it just by itself without the cheese and the spaghetti noodles, and it was good. It was different, but it was good. So let's try it with the cheese, the onions, and the noodles. And Rose, just fair warning, there is a little bit of spice in there because of the chipotle chili powder, so maybe be a little bit careful, bud. But anyways, this was really good. It was, you know, sweeter because of like the cinnamon and the sugar and everything. And oh, I did warn you, Rose. Sorry, bud. It is a little bit spicy. Yep. It's not too spicy, but you know, maybe for a 3-year-old it was a tad bit spicy. She did eat more later on, surprisingly enough. But back to the chili, it was really good. The cinnamon, the cloves, the allspice, and the sugar, and the chocolate too. It was really peculiar because you'd take a bite and it would taste one way, but you know, after you ate it, you would get subtle hints of all these different flavors. It was really cool. It was really good. Definitely different. You would never expect that in your chili, but I really liked this. And it wasn't that hard to make at all. So you know what, let's call it an episode there, because this was fun to make, and you know what, you should try making it. I think you would like it. So I hope you liked what you saw here today. If you did, why don't you drop me a comment, like the video, or even subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching Idiot Proof Cooking. We'll see you again soon.